The melting of Earth's ice caps is lengthening the days. A museum admits that all of their Picassos are actually fake. And a South Korean airport authority has been cracking down on Trader Joe's bagel seasoning. These are the weird stories for Thursday on Weird AF News, the only daily weird news podcast recommended by 9 out of 10 doctors. The melting ice caps are slowing Earth's spin and lengthening days, according to a study. It's the sound of science. Come on, nerds. Let's learn a little bit about, I guess it's global warming. We're going to have to hear more about. I'm so sorry, guys. Global warming, so sorry. But this might be a positive outcome. They're saying that the days are getting longer. That means the weekends are getting longer. That's what's up. More time to listen to reggae and smoke a chiba. It says a study that came out on Monday shows that the melting of the polar ice caps is causing our planet to spin more slowly. And this is increasing the length of days at, quote, an unprecedented rate? Unprecedented? I'm going to guess that this is an exaggeration, and it's probably only increasing the Earth's length of days by 0.0003 seconds or something like that. But they like to make all these alarmist announcements so that you'll give them money for such studies. Let's find out what's going on here. It's a paper that was published in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences. Ooh, sounds pretty legit. They're showing that water flowing from Greenland and Antarctica is resulting in more mass around the equator. And one of the co-authors of the study, Benedict, says, quote, "It's like when a figure skater does a pirouette, first holding her arms close to her body and then stretching them out. The initially fast rotation becomes slower because the masses move away from the axis of rotation, increasing physical inertia." Anyone understand what Benedict just said? I got no clue. The Earth is commonly thought of as a sphere. Actually, it's more accurately, it's an oblate spheroid, and it bulges somewhat around the equator. The Earth has got a nice bulge. I don't know if you guys ever seen the bulge of the Earth. It's pretty sexy, you know. The Earth is like, yo, eyes up here. We always looking at my bulge for eyes up here, all right? I'm more than just my bulge, okay? I have a lot of pollution in my ocean. Have you not seen it? Check out my island made of plastic. I'm sorry, let's get serious here. They used global positioning systems in this study. They measured the Earth's rotation very precisely with this to about 1/100th of a millisecond. They even looked at ancient eclipse records going back millennia. So they really dug down to find out that the Earth is apparently spinning slower. What are the implications of this? Well, if the Earth turns more slowly, then the length of day increases by a few milliseconds from the standard measure of 86,400 seconds. Okay, so the day increases a little bit. Let's not tell our bosses this because they're just going to make us work extra hours. You know how this works, okay? They actually got quite specific. They say between the year 1900 and today, climate change has caused days to become around 0.8 milliseconds longer. And under the worst-case scenario of high greenhouse gas emissions, climate alone would be responsible for making days 2.2 milliseconds longer by the year 2100. Is that something we should be concerned with? It's a 2.2 I don't even know how long that is, but it's 2.2 milliseconds is less than a second. I mean, who cares about that? I mean, if we burn the Earth down a little longer, maybe we can get a whole minute out of this, but I don't recommend that. The good news is you could probably use this for an excuse when you're late for a meeting. Yeah, sorry, everybody, I'm late. You know, the polar caps melted a little bit and, the Earth's spinning a little slower. So it kind of messed up my day and my alarm. An art museum admits that the Picassos are all fakes. An exhibition of Picasso paintings that made headlines for some sort of gender discrimination is now back in the news after all of the Picasso artwork was revealed as fakes. We have Kirsha Cashel, the curator of the art collection at the Museum of Old and New Art in Tasmania, Australia, confessing that she actually painted these works that she passed off as Pablo Picasso's herself, and that she didn't get caught for years. She's sort of bragging about this ruse, it seems. We have a quote from this woman. She says, "I was having some drinks with my friend, Natalie, and I thought maybe I should just make the paintings myself." And we laughed, but, because it sounds absurd. But then, as with many absurd ideas, I decided it was a good one, so I made the artworks quite painstakingly with my own hands. Lo and behold, these fake Picasso paintings have been on display for over 3 years, and this woman's confession about them not being authentic came only after a reporter and the Picasso administration raised questions about their authenticity. One of the clues was that one of the fake paintings was hung upside down in the gallery, and this woman believes that was the thing that finally exposed her. Well, you hung it upside down, lady. Obviously, it's going to raise a red flag. In addition, at one point, many of these fake Picassos were hung in the ladies' restroom, which didn't sit well with certain people and raised suspicions. So, putting them in the bathroom. So they were Picassos, is what you're saying? Or no, Picassos. What about Picassos? Which one do you guys prefer? Picasso, Picasso, or Picasso? How offensive, by the way. I only crap in restrooms with original art. How dare you put these fakes in there? It's either a Van Gogh or it's a no-go for me. And let me tell you, I will not be fooled by these Gauguin sketches on the toilet paper. These cannot be authentic either. Now, the article doesn't say what the repercussions of all this is going to be. I assume she'll just have to remove them, but shouldn't this woman be fined and perhaps lose her museum license? Is that a thing? Is there a museum license? Do you have to apply to, or there must be. Otherwise, anything could be a museum. Oh, I could turn my podcast closet into a museum as well. Oh, here's the first microphone I used. Oh, look at this. This is these are some old coffee mugs that I would drink when I would drink coffee while recording. I can't even get this out, but you get the idea. Turning my podcast closet into a museum. People will come from far and wide to see where Weird AF News was recorded back in the day after I'm dead and gone. Probably not. Who cares? South Korean airport authorities crack down on Trader Joe's bagel seasoning. A popular U.S. food seasoning mix created for yummifying the top of your bagel is now the subject of an intensifying crackdown in South Korea, where poppy seeds, one of its key ingredients, are actually banned. Trader Joe's Everything But the Bagel Seasoning Blend is a crunchy mix of sesame seeds, salt, dried garlic, dried onion, and poppy seeds. It is delicious. I've had it many times. Apparently, it has been on South Korea's list of restricted foods since 2022, but travelers lately say this has been the subject of increased confiscation in airports, specifically in recent weeks. And it begs the question, why would you bring bagel seasoning to South Korea? This is just a very strange item to pack. I mean, who's traveling outside the U.S. and is like, I need my bagel seasoning. Can't go anywhere without my bagel seasoning. Like, what the hell is wrong with you? First of all, I don't even think that you can get a bagel in South Korea. I've been to many countries in Asia. I don't remember ever seeing a bagel. So why the hell you bringing bagel seasoning in the first place? The article goes on to say signs at Incheon International Airport in Seoul single out this savory contraband specifically. Somebody shared a photo of the airport sign that featured a picture of this Trader Joe's bagel seasoning. The sign in Korean read, quote, "We would like to inform you that the following products containing poppy seeds are restricted from being brought into the country as Papaver somniferum L, an ingredient of the poppy family designated as narcotic substance under South Korea's narcotic drugs control law, has been detected." So they're singling out the poppy seeds. In my opinion, this is a little alarmist. You can't get high on these poppy seed seasonings. You can't really get high on poppy seeds themselves unless you eat a lot of them. I'm saying get high. They will come up on a drug test, though, if you have, some poppy seeds. It'll come up. Back in, 2005, I ate a poppy seed muffin and then failed a drug test, I recall. I also smoked a crap ton of weed at the time, but that's beside the point. According to the Seoul Airport spokesperson, Seed products with narcotic substances have always been banned from being brought into Korea. Recently, the customs offices have been strengthening the crackdown on narcotic-related items. While poppy seeds do not contain opium, authorities fear they could be contaminated with opiates, a class of drugs that can relieve pain and cause drowsiness. So basically, it's like the same effect as 2 shots of tequila is what they're saying. So they're very alarmist over there. They threaten their citizens that if you smoke marijuana outside their country in a place that it's actually legal, like let's say, you were going to California where it's legal. South Korea threatens the citizens, if you smoke marijuana over here, you will be charged when you get back there. I don't even know how they figured that out, but that's what they're very strict like that, and it just doesn't make sense. How often the war on drugs just operates on complete naivete. Yeah. Well, you know what they say, fear does the work of reason. Now, you'll be surprised maybe to know that South Korea is not the only country to restrict poppy seeds. They are also prohibited in the United Arab Emirates, Saudi Arabia, Taiwan, and Singapore. I'm not surprised about Singapore. They've been very strict. At one point, they banned bringing in gum. Do you recall those days? They're a little lax with that now. I've brought packs of gum into Singapore within the last 4 years, and it was no problem. These poppy seeds, though, it reminds me of a story that I'm going to share. It's a very personal story about something that someone in my family did. I came out to visit Los Angeles. I want to say this was probably 2012, thereabouts. I would come during the winter and spend a few weeks here staying with family to get out of the New York City cold. And I had my eye on moving here eventually anyways, but yeah, I would stay with my family, and there was let's just say a younger family member. She was like early 20s. She was kind of a party girl. She was into that at the time. She kind of had her run of the house that I was staying at. Like, the father was, the parents were separated, and the mother was there, but she just really didn't keep an eye on her. This girl just did whatever she wanted. Well, one day I came home, and she was cooking up an entire pot of poppy seeds. She was boiling poppy seeds for her and her friend to drink to get messed up. I was like, I don't want no part of this. I could just see disaster on the horizon. And I didn't even believe that it would work. I wasn't sure, but I guess if you eat it, if you boil up enough and drink it, maybe something will happen. Anyways, they did. They boiled these poppy seeds up and then drank it. Then they disappeared. I don't know what happened, but a few hours later, I went out. I come home, and my aunt is freaking out. She's apparently her little dachshund. She had a little dachshund. This dog had gotten into the trash, meanwhile, and this is where the discarded poppy seeds post-tea had been thrown. So my cousin, the girl had thrown after she boiled the poppy seeds, threw them in the trash. The dog got and ate the poppy seeds, and the dog had it was like the dog had died, had to be brought to the vet and the stomach pumped to get these poppy seeds out of the dog. It was a complete disaster and just a crazy day. I just was like, what is going on here? Where am I? I felt like I was living in a Twilight Zone. I later inquired with my cousin what the effects of the poppy seeds were, and it turns out it just made them nauseous, so it didn't even work. The dog, though, oh my goodness, the dog. I can laugh about it years later, but at the time, it was an emergency, man. I love that dog so much, and we thought the dog was dead. Hey, my friends and loyal listeners of the Weird AF News Podcast. Thanks for spending some time with your buddy Jonesy today. I appreciate it. I respect your time. We kept this bad boy brief, and I'll try to keep the outro brief as well. Hey, I want to thank everybody who sent me messages about the quality of the show. I got a lot of messages saying, hey, we don't hear the banging and pounding from your roofers above, Jonesy. So I'm surprised because to me it sounds like a bunch of orangutans are jumping on my chin. But I mean, but no one can really hear it. So I mean that just lends to, I guess, the quality of this microphone. This my Samson Q2U, which I $69.99 on Amazon. It's a great mic, man. It does the trick. Highly recommend it. They're not a sponsor of the show, but I would recommend them. So that's pretty cool. And it's good to know. If you guys want to email me stories that are from Florida, please do so. funnyjones@gmail.com. Tomorrow's going to be the Florida Friday episode. If you're new to the show, on Friday I only do weird news from Florida. So send on those Florida stories. Please have them be from this past week if you could. Recent stories is appropriate. If you want to call the show, 646-450-2012. I'm going to post a couple of phone calls after this if you want to stick around and listen to some of my weird listeners. And then I want to give a shout out to Zachary. Zachary is a very generous guy. Zachary bought me a coffee off my website, weirdafnews.com. And then when you buy me a coffee, you can write a little love note. So Zachary wrote a great message here. It was really touching. It's, I absolutely love your podcast, Jonesy. I discovered your talented work a few weeks ago when I started driving people for Uber. I start my day every day by listening to your podcast. It really makes my day. Please keep up the great work and the passion that you have. Cheers, friend. Enjoy the Guinness. P.S. I hope those roofers aren't causing you too much problems. Yeah, see? No, they're not causing problems for the podcast, clearly, because no one can hear it. Are they causing problems in my personal life? Yeah, because I normally don't like to get up at 7 a.m. But I got to get up at 7 a.m. because that's when they're jumping around up there. That's when the jump around party starts. You know what I'm saying? Jump around, jump up and get down. Jump on your roof. I mean, they're jumping right above my bedroom. They're doing my half of the building this week, so then they're going to move and do the other half next week, so it probably won't be too bad. But like right now, I'm up at 7 a.m., which is no bueno at all, because I'm usually up till 2 a.m. That's my schedule usually. I'm out at the comedy clubs or I'm doing shows, and I get home around 1, and then I don't really wind down and get to sleep till 2. And so, getting up at 7 is not ideal, but this is what we're doing this week, so it's okay. After they leave, I try and squeeze in a little nap before I head out to do my comedy shows. If you're listening to this on Thursday, I'm going to be in Huntington Beach tonight, and where's the place I'm at? I can't remember. It's the Mediterranean Grill. It's the address is 200 Main Street. I do know that, in Huntington Beach. And then tomorrow night I'm in Hollywood. You can find all this information on my Instagram at Funny Jones if you want to get to the bottom of that. Okay, I won't keep you any longer. Thank you so much for spending some time with me, and good luck with your life, man.
Hello, Jonesy. This is Tank, and I'm a mank. And I don't like at all what you're telling us, that I think it's a prank. The government of Spain, I guess I have them to thank. They're only giving us 30 tokens every time I want to wank. Well, what do they want next? They'll want to know how much I've drank. I'll have to draw on my memories of porn and use my spank bank. Well, don't like this at all. It's not making me very happy at all. In fact, it's making me a crank.
Hey, Jonesy. Stephanie Carter here from Columbus, Ohio. Just got to listen to your Florida Fridays. Today, I had to wait till Sunday to call them because I was just taken aback by the beer story that I had to have a couple myself and just made it a whole weekend out of it. But anyway, the official beer of Florida, I would think would be Natty Daddy. That is like the malt liquor of natural beer. It's just worse than natural ice. It's like 12% or something crazy like that. And for your pilfering, Pilsner would be Natty Daddy. Well, let's hear. I got a chuckle. Hi, weirdos. Bye, weirdos.